I didn't want to live anymore, you know, and I wanted God to just end it for me because I was too afraid to do it myself.
When Nikki Fontaine was young, she had a pure, childlike faith and love for God. But that faith turned to pain and resentment when a family member began molesting her when she was 9.
I definitely changed. My innocence went. That's when I got very angry at God. I still believed he was there. I just couldn't understand why he would let that happen to a child at the time.
For years, Nikki didn't know how to tell her parents about the abuse she was going through.
I'd punch holes in the walls, and I started to cut myself because the pain of the physical took away the emotional stuff that I didn't know how to handle.
In high school, drinking and partying helped bury her emotional torment. Then, after a sports injury, she found a new escape with OxyContin.
Instantly, I was hooked. It was my best friend, it was my lover, it was my family, it was everything. I didn't need anyone else when I had that, and I didn't care about anything else in my life. And eventually, once a month became once a week to 5 times a week to every day.
When she ran out of pills, her boyfriend introduced her to heroin.
And I thought, I'm a heroin addict now? And I remember looking at myself in the mirror, just so disgusted. At that moment, that's really when it sunk in, like, I'm now an IV using junkie, you know? Like that person that you picture in your head. And I just was so lost and hopeless.
Then in 2013, while strung out on heroin, she had a head-on collision that nearly killed her. While healing in the hospital, Nikki called her drug dealer. When she couldn't pay, he demanded sexual favors.
And I felt just like that little girl that was abused again. I just felt worthless, and I was just praying for the moment that God would say, enough is enough. You failed, you know? Like, I thought this was just some cruel joke, and I still wouldn't pray the whole time. I would not ask for help or ask him to show me what to do or give me the strength to get through it. I was so angry at him.
Once she was out of the hospital, Nikki became homeless when an argument with a family member turned violent.
I realized, like at that moment, I just was so broken. I felt like a used doll, you know, that people just threw aside. And it was difficult, so I did more drugs, you know, and I did more things to get the drugs. And at that moment, I'd say that was like the first time where I didn't think like, oh, I'll get this tomorrow. Like, I lost that hope.
Soon after, she was arrested on an old warrant. Nikki entered her cell alone and in despair.
I remember being so tough when they cuffed me again because it was just another arrest, you know? But when I got into that cell alone this time, and I had all that pain and trauma from everything, and absolutely nothing left in my life, I just hit my knees in the jail cell, and that's when I asked God to please help me, that I can't do this anymore. And like, something was different about this time. When I was on my knees, that burden of hatred and disgust with self and all that, it kind of like lightened. I felt like he was there with me, like someone put their hand on my shoulder and said, you're gonna be okay. That's what it felt like, you know? I just had faith again for the first time in so long.
After her release from jail, she went through rehab and was finally able to stay clean. Nikki says things began to change as she allowed God to heal her pain.
I pray daily, and I ask for help, and I ask him to give me his will, not mine, you know, and life is just so much easier. I have that love inside me now, regardless of who I have physically here, you know? And that's really what I was missing this whole time. And I feel this happiness inside today because of that I never knew was possible. Like, I'm so happy, I don't know what to do with it sometimes, you know? Sometimes we feel like we can't move forward in our lives, no matter how hard we try.
Today, Nikki runs a sober house where she helps addicts find hope and life again.
And I get to help them and see the light come back in them, and the glow in their face, and the faith that they have restored, you know? And it's an amazing transformation when you get to be a part of it and see it from beginning to end. That's what really fills me up, is to know that I'm doing a lot to help other people, you know?
The scars from a lifetime of abuse and self-hatred have been healed as she has made room for God's healing presence in her life.
And I've been able to forgive and forget about the family members that hurt me, you know? And my dreams are just awakening, really. And the more that I go, the more I see that anything's possible again, you know? And I couldn't do it without God.
What a story of redemption, isn't it? Let's go back to where that all started for Nikki. A child, an unsuspecting, innocent child, taken advantage of by someone who themselves was struggling on every level. You know, when something like that happens to us, especially when we're little, but it can happen when you're older as well, it's like it mars your understanding of who you are. And then when it happens over and over and over again, just in order to survive, you kind of put this wall around your heart. And when you're a little girl and you don't understand evil, and you know there is a God, but you don't really know him, that wall walls him out as well. And anger begins to build inside of you, and there's no one left to direct it to but anybody and everybody who crosses your path. And you've walled yourself off so much that you can't even ask for help. You can't come up for air. You can't do anything that might make you vulnerable in any way. It's just too much. And yet the Bible says that God is always with us, that even in our pain, it doesn't say he keeps us out of the fire. It says, I'll walk through it with you. But even in Nikki's case, where she refused to ask for help, she refused to let anybody inside that little yard she'd built around herself, God was there, whether she knew it or not. And he waited. And he waited a long time for Nikki. It's interesting to me how God uses evil to draw us to himself. And, you know, even the car accident, the walk back into the drug scenario after that, all those things that kept making her feel less than, until one day Nikki hit bottom. You know, bottom can be a long way down, can it? But it's never too far for Jesus Christ to reach down. It says, he reached down and lifted me out of the slimy pit and set my feet on a rock. Jesus did that for Nikki, and he can do it for you. It doesn't matter how many times you've fallen, how far you've gone, how bad you've been, how much you've lost. He never changes. And he's always there, always available, a prayer away. So let go of trying to figure it out and do it your way, and just say what Nikki said, Jesus, I need you. Come into my life. Help me in the middle of this. I receive you today. Forgive me. I forgive those who have harmed me. Now please forgive me for my sins and give me a new life. That's it. That's it. Invite Jesus into your heart and life today. It will change everything for you. If you need someone to pray with, our number's toll free, 1-800-700-7000, a friend's on the other end of that line.
Hello, I'm Gordon Robertson. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more encouraging videos like this one. Welcome to the 700 Club Interactive family, and God bless you.